What was the singer singing about? I think you're the only Kenya Rwanda speaker here. We were listening to music from Rwanda today. So Jeanette, what was she singing about? Someone she loved who passed away. Oh wow, okay. All right, there we go. So good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's good. Have a look at the schedule for today. We're going to be holding our first careers workshop at 12 o'clock Rwanda time. There's a poll that's running in the random channel, which is sounds silly, but yeah, we'll try and keep it a little bit light. So this is the first part of the last part of the course where we're looking for. We said that we wanted to find high potential people. We've done that. We wanted to give people skills to be job ready. We're in the middle of that and we're getting very close to the end of it. And we want to launch people into careers. And so that's going to be starting today. Looking forward to that. And in terms of other announcements, please do keep a look on the calendar. There's been a little bit of movement of guest talks. The talk from Andreas Matt will happen next week. In response to the request, we have a couple of the 2017 10 Academy Female Fellows who will be speaking the next week and the week afterwards. Yeah, that's all from my side. I'm very curious to see how this week was because this week was very different. So very curious to hear from everyone. But yeah, that's all from me. Yavu?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think I'm keen to hear how people are doing, as well as also just reflection in terms of like, what should we improve in terms of the competition? Is there anything we can do better? Because next week also is going to be competition, and that would really help. Just any reflection, because today's Friday retrospective, so it would help that if you could just say like, what are the process we could improve for weeks like this one.
Prosper, any community announcements?
Hi, yes, so for me, I'd say I saw a new channel yesterday, which was really great. So if you haven't shared what you're grateful for, just jump on that channel and do that. For week 7, I'll be sharing with you all an assignment where you have to hand in. So by weekend, you can get that ready for week 7. That's that for me.
All right. Anyone else from the team? Mustafa? Who else is here? Yeah, I guess it's just Mustafa. Mustafa, anything to share? No. All right. So why don't we go straight into the stand-up then? I'm just realizing while people put their names down, I asked Lowell for 100 Naira. I didn't realize that 100 Naira is like 25 cents. I think I got the order of magnitude totally wrong. All right, Ada? Okay, Ada's gonna type. So we're looking for feedback on what the retrospective, what went well, what could have been done better. And you have what's the
I think, and also just like what is for situations like these competitions, what can we do better? I think that's mostly the case, and just any feedback that you have, as well as also any progress you have, would be great, because this is in the interest of like everyone. Kind of, if you had learned something that can be shared, that would be great to share.
Do we want to know where people stand in terms of the leaderboard, just to get an idea? Or
if they feel so, I think they could really say, but I think we will know tomorrow, right, by when everyone submits. But I think people can just say such that it kind of inspires others. So that would be great.
All right, Biniam. Biniam has to think. It's always good to think before you speak. So that's one reflection right away. So Ada's typing, Binyam's thinking, who's up next?
Janet. This is just
Jeanette, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jeanette.
So for us, the week have been quite smooth, quite challenging. We've been struggling with boosting our model accuracy and try to see if our leaderboard rank can increase, but it didn't. We are trying even today. You will see that if we can do something more. Yesterday, that's what we were doing, training other models, seeing that we can increase the accuracy of the models that we train. Yeah, that's all. I have a flow. That's something new for me.
But how happy are you as well in terms of where you are? I mean, it doesn't have to be in the leaderboard base, but just
we are learning. That's something interesting. Keep on learning. We are happy with the kind of new data set that have been provided. It helped us to learn something new.
okay.
No block until now, I said.
All right, Ken.
Thanks. Right.
Ken, Mbaya.
For me, this week has not been really good. Because first of all, I think I underestimated the challenge. Because after I made the submission, I was like, yay, at least it works now. Now, when I went to try now do some hyperparameter tuning, that's when it got confusing. Now I tried to do some stacking. Now it got a bit confused. So it's been actually stressful, actually, to the point where, like, I think yesterday at night, I actually dreamt about the challenge. And I rarely dream about things. Like I dreamt, like I know I dreamt something about the challenge. But I think today I have like a fresh mindset. I'd set a goal for myself that at least by the end of the challenge, at least I'm at the top 300 or top 250. Like I wasn't like targeting high. So I hope I'll achieve that by tomorrow. Yeah.
Great.
For anything that can be improved, I don't think anything like should be improved. Like everything is okay. It's just that this challenge was really challenging and confusing.
Ken, question for you. Are you reaching out to others for help, or are you kind of toiling away alone?
I'm trying first to read because I don't know what to ask exactly. See, because I'm a bit confused, so I'm trying to like figure out like, okay, this is where I'm stuck. But so far I've figured out where I was stuck because I was mixed up between the training data and the testing data. So I think I got that insight like just today in the morning, like it just hit me, yo, you are doing this wrong. Go try it out, and then if it works, I'll ask now the question. Because I was mixing up things. That's why I was getting so many errors. Yeah.
Okay. Bessie?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This week has been quite exciting. This is my first Zindi competition to participate in. So it has been exciting. Other than that, it has been quite challenging, but I'm grateful of my fellow colleagues who have been collaborating with, and I look forward to getting a better score in the leaderboard by end of day.
Great.
Okay. Stephanie?
Hi everyone. This week has been it's been my last week. I just worked on the challenge. I didn't work on the challenge on Tuesday or Wednesday. I came back to working on it on yesterday afternoon. I did some tuning and I got a better score. So I'm just planning to continue working on it. So yeah.
Yeah, from the retrospective side, what are the things that could be improved? Like, for example, were you prepared for for this week's challenge, or could we have done better, or anything in that kind of reflection would be great to hear as well.
So I think, given that most of the people in the challenge have already worked on this challenge for quite some time, and we're just getting into it, maybe next time we should work in groups, just group people who are struggling a bit and those who are better off at it, so that it can be also a learning experience, not really taking it as a competition, but learning on the way. So yeah.
But does competition teaching you something that otherwise you couldn't have picked up or get serious?
Yeah, of course. I've learned just how to, like, different approaches, especially when you go to the discussion page. You see how people really think in different approaches, which really helped me in working on the challenge. So yeah.
Also, if the previous speakers want to say anything on that, you can just type it, and but we can continue to the next.
All right, Nahom. Nahom had a great week. I sounded in a great position. Okay. I was looking forward to a really positive update from Nahom. All right, Brian.
You can type it if you can.
Yeah. Brian, Odiambo. Brian, are you there? He was here. John Latome.
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
I think, okay, this week, it has been really insightful. It's like when you do the submission, you see probably what you did last and what you have tried to implement in your code, that it's working, if it's working or not working, so that you can know what to sort. For me, using the models without hyperparameters seemed at times to perform well. And then when I did hyperparameter tuning, the scores were not improving. So today, I'm trying to improve on hyperparameters to see if the models improve. Yeah. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Inium nominates Done Thinking.
Good morning, guys.
Good. Is that your new nickname?
So I don't have much to say, actually. First of all, I second Stephanie's working in groups idea. And secondly, about the week, if it's possible, I would love for the tutorial to be just before the afternoon, because when I work on stuff, I would like to get undistracted block of time. I have a short attention span. I don't know about you guys, but like it would be awesome if it can be like before the afternoon, because like we have the stand up in the morning, then we start working on the task, and like time flies when you're doing good. Then the tutorial comes by, and then you're going to have to distract yourself again. So like if we can finish both the stand-up and the tutorial in the morning, then we can really focus on the task the whole afternoon and the whole night. If you guys agree, I think that would be best for all of us. That's my personal opinion. So that's my comment for this week. And about the challenge, it's a little bit frustrating thinking that you have improved your performance, and you see on your Jupyter notebook that your performance is, your accuracy is improved, but when you submit it to Zindi, it's like it's not that much, you know, like the performance increase is not like you expected, so that's a bit frustrating. But like the main goal of this week is not to win the challenge. For me, at least, it's not to win the challenge. I'm not in that position, I'd say that, but like to learn something new. So this is my first time doing hyperparameter tuning, and I think I'm getting a good idea of the whole process. So that's what matters for me. So that's it. That's my comment. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Abu Bakr?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So this week has been great in terms of little. We're not so much focused on learning a lot. We're just focused on learning about approaching model building from different perspectives. And one thing I'll point out is going through the discussion on Zindi is really helpful. I spent about 2 hours yesterday just reading through it, and I learned a lot from there. So I would advise each of us to try out on the discussion panel and see what we can learn from that. And one thing to improve is further on in future competitions. I think it should be in groups, as people have suggested. And I think there should be something like a starter notebook that would help everyone to understand the data better and how to approach it. And one thing I'll point out is to improve the model. Default parameters for machine learning model will just work, because everything I've tried for hyperparameter tuning seems bad. So just using default models will be good. And using label encoding and one-hot encoding is kind of it's not what I understand is using one-hot encoding for nominal data is best, but in terms of this data, it's not working out the way I expected. So that too is one of it. So that's my contribution for this one. Thank you.
Great. So has anyone tried cat boost encoding or anything that we haven't covered in the tutorials in the past? Okay. And how was the performance? Did you get anything out of it? Okay, great. And another one I would just say is that if you think from information perspective, you will learn a lot. So what are the data? What is the information you are throwing? What is the information you are keeping? And no matter what you do, if you throw information, you lose. And there is million ways to throw information by not taking correlations, for example, between labels. And if you just simply encode them, you basically lose information. So what is information? If you think about what is information, what can be, is there anyone who added from the labels to the features as form of information, some kind of feature engineering?
Yes, I did that.
Okay, so what did you do, for example, in that scenario?
Okay, so for my feature engineering, I used I converted the join date feature to a datetime object, and I extracted some information like day, week, month, and all that from it.
Yeah, so that's great. But my question is that have anyone considered feature engineering from the target to the features? So not just only splitting from within the features, but I looked at the data this morning and I saw a lot of information is available already in the feature, in the targets that can be used as a feature. So has anyone tried to do some kind of extracting correlation type of or count information from the labels to the features? So that could help you. So if you haven't already done.
Abel, I haven't understood you there.
So the number of okay, Mulwork, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I have tried like that. Firstly, I tried to sum up the label as one that's actually subscribed, and it actually has a performance change. And when I have tried another approach. I've tried to pick the index of the subscription and sum up theirs to get the unique number for each labels. But this on this time, these guys increase their performance, and I think involved getting the correlation between the labels is actually getting increase their performances, at least for me.
Yeah. No, great. I think that was exactly what I was thinking. And just to answer Olashore and others, yeah, that is to create new features. Basically, that is not available there.
Yeah. Adding an extra level, an
exactly.
extra.
So, for example, exactly what you said, it could be the index, or it could be the sum, like how many, the count of
one.
Yeah, the count of one. And these are the kind of information. But that's, if you look at it, and very good Mulwork. I think that's definitely, without even doing any analysis, I can tell you that will improve. Why? Because that's an information. Why? Because that's a correlation. If, let's say, if two insurances are correlated, that means if you buy one health, you might be buying another one, then that information, you are losing them now if you don't take into account that kind of counting and correlations. So thinking about that, it's really detective work, right? So it's about, okay, first is about understanding the data. Deep learning removes that. That's really the great thing about deep learning. But if you are doing machine learning, you really are a detective. So I think this is more to give you, it's about thinking a lot and then going, and then when you notice a little bit improvement, continuing in that direction. So I said it last time, so I don't want to repeat, but it's thinking outside the box is very important in competition. And I think Stephanie covered it, and probably Biniam also covered it. It's about learning what you have been doing so far, what you have been learning, and then what actually, like, trying to really test it in the wild and kind of like, oh, okay, do you need to change your way of thinking and stuff? So I mean, I just don't want to take all the time, but that's really some of the things this week's interest is, just to help you, like, okay, you have been thinking, you have been kind of been given a certain challenge that is also very important, very difficult, but you're not really measured if you did well or if you didn't do well. But this challenge would really tell you, give you exactly as Biniam said, you submit it and you know exactly that you have been doing well or not. So it's a way of feedback. Every time you submit, that's why we needed 5 submissions, so that you get 5 feedbacks, a minimum, to know, like, your way of thinking, right? So yeah, so just let's continue. Sorry, just that I derailed. But you can try cat boost and trying to create new features, just like Mulwork. Or if you don't understand, probably you can also contact Mulwork and have discussions.
Mokali? Charlene? Doesn't seem to be. Okay. Gerald?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, for me, I really appreciated this week. So I got to actually appreciate what we've been doing in the past few weeks in Ten Academy. Like, we were used to that format where either Yabebal or one of the instructors sends us like what you're supposed to do. But this time we're just given a problem and you are supposed to now come up with our own way of doing it. So for me, it was a challenge since you didn't know where to start at first. But after that, I just realized it's the same thing. Go through the data, then understand it, and then like try to do things based on what you see from the data. So if it's generating new features, if you need to do imbalancing, if you need to do outlier treatment, things like that. And then the other thing is the colleagues, other colleagues have been great, so I really appreciate them. I remember Rahel, Emmanuel, so I've been able to reach out whenever I'm stuck, and they are able to like guide me, or can even discuss. So for me, that's what I really appreciate. And then in terms of competitions, I've really learned a lot. So like now I have to read like hyperparameter tuning. So it's now I have to read and like get things I didn't get during the first few weeks. I'm doing the research now also on my own and asking questions, and it's really helpful. So I really appreciate. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
All right. So should we wrap up then? Anyone else want to last call for feedback? So summary feedback, as far as I understand, is group work is recommended, tutoring support is, and group work is working, or the teamwork or contributions from the community seems to work well. Perhaps move the tutorials to the afternoon. Just to underline, group work was possible for this round based on suggestions from the community. I think it was mentioned at the start of the week that maybe recommending that people form the groups is a good idea. Yeah, but I think you and I had talked about this earlier in the week, and you had said that even if we do that, you think that people should form their own groups because you need to find people you can work with.
Yeah, I think that was the hope, is that you form your own group based on with whom you performed well, because this is, you have to register, and that basically means you have to form your own groups. And so that was the reason why I thought it was okay to just not form any group, and then people have the possibility to form. But maybe we can consider if that is helpful. I mean, if people want to actually be paired randomly or some in some other way. But definitely even after that, you have to go and register as a team yourself. That was necessary.
All right, guys, so we'll see you at 12 o'clock or in an hour for our first careers talk. Everyone should have, actually, another point, everyone should have received a link to create your own profile website. So if you haven't received that, please reach out to Prosper. So we'll be discussing that, actually not so much during the talk this afternoon. If you have any questions, reach out to Prosper or to me, and we can help put that together. Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.